Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning, about a little after 9 o'clock. I keep looking at that clock and I took the batteries out of it. I don't know why I look that way, but it is a little after 9 o'clock. We have a 10 o'clock YouTube Live that I'm preparing for. So I brought the computer out, I got the camera out, I got all of my cords and stuff because I want to plug the computer in so the battery doesn't die, because it should last for an hour, but sometimes it go longer than an hour. You know the story. So I'm just out here prepping for our YouTube Live that we're going to do in about 45 minutes. I hope to see you on there. Of course, you'll see this after the live video because this will come out tonight. But hey, thank you for participating in the YouTube Live today. How's that? All right, guys, I got to get busy and get this going. When I'm done, I got a little bit of time before we record an episode of You Made That tonight. So check that out too. And hey, thanks for listening. All right, guys, I'll catch you in a little bit. Bye-bye. Well, we just finished up an hour and a half live Q&A on YouTube. I thought it was awesome. I had a great time. There were some fantastic questions, and they're always fun to do. I want you guys to know that I have a lot of it because of the situation in the world today. I haven't been able to take vacations, so I'm going to have every Friday off between now and the end of the year, and I hope to spend many of those Fridays. I know there'll be some family obligations I have to take care of on some of them, but I hope to spend many of them out of the shop making videos and working on projects, and I hope to do many more of these live Q&A chats. It's just fun to get a chance to interact with people real time and answer questions, and hopefully it helps people. People really seem to enjoy them, and I have a great time doing them. I got some great ideas. I take notes while I'm doing them because people say things, they ask questions, and it gives me ideas. So yeah, we're going to do a few more of them. I'm going to try. I got to figure out how. I'd like to do a live turning at some point in the future. The issue is I almost need a second person in the shop when I do it, because somebody needs to kind of proxy the video. And what I mean by that is questions come in, and if you're turning, it's hard to stop and answer. You know how it is when you're turning and you've got someone there and you're trying to answer questions, you need to kind of pause. Well, I don't want to have to keep pausing to look at the screen and read questions. I want to be able to work on the turning, and then if I've got someone in the shop and I say, hey Bob, so-and-so said this, or so-and-so asked that, or I need someone to kind of interact with so that I can pause, answer, and then keep the process going. So we're going to work on that. I would like to do at least one of those by the end of the year. Hopefully we can do it sooner than later, and hopefully it goes well, and maybe we can do a couple of more, because I think it would be fun to do just a live interactive turning where maybe I have a couple of kits, a couple of blanks, I let the viewers pick, and then as we're turning, maybe something happens, it blows up, and we talk about, hey, how do you want to fix it, right? So just make it interactive. I think it'd be fun for everybody. So I got a bunch of stuff here. Let me flip this around and show you what we're going to work on today. I've got some blanks here that we're going to turn. We're going to turn this one, and we'll fix the end of it. I busted that off when I was drilling it out. I've got another Charlie Brown blank without the caps on it, and you'll see I kind of squared these in an effort to be able to drill more down the center. That was the problem I had yesterday. They weren't drilled down the center. That's not the right one. See how they're just not centered. Hopefully I got better. This is the Robert Dudinsky blank that I'm going to be turning today, I hope. There's another blank we're going to be turning for one of the Taylor Mansfield. This is for the Taylor Mansfield fountain pen. And this is one that I did a little fix on the end, and we're going to do a little more of a fix on it. And then I've got these three blanks back here, which I took a poll. These were a three-way tie for the rollerball. I took a poll on which one they wanted to see, and I'll be a son of a gun. I got a three-way tie again. I was really surprised. I thought for sure. But I thought for sure some of the folks that voted for the odd blanks, would maybe gang up and pick a favorite. And we ended up with another three-way tie. So I think I'm going to have to put them in a bag or something, have my daughter come out and just draw a blank and go with that, because they're all three popular. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to go in the house and fill my cup back up with a little bit of ice water, and then we're going to come back out to the shop, and I'm going to get started turning some of these blanks. Well, guys, I went in the house to fill my cup up with water, and I put a little ice in it. I grabbed the jug of water out of the fridge. I turned around, set it down on the counter to pour a glass of water. Looked out the back window. The sun is shining. The rain has subsided, and my grass looks like a jungle. So before I get a chance to turn, I need to go out. My son is going to come out and cut, but I'm going to go run the weed eater and I'm going to trim the yard and get it. It hadn't been trimmed in 2 weeks. I was traveling last week, and sometimes I'll skip a week, and the week before was my skip week. So I need to get out and get everything trimmed up. So that's going to take a little bit of time. I'll be back after that and see about doing some of the turning on these blanks, because I'm really excited to get to making these. So I'll be back in touch shortly, let you know how things are going. Whoo! It's not even a hot day out there, and the sun is kind of behind the clouds. But man, it's hot. I got the yard trimmed. Sorry about my hair. I just took my hat off to cool off a little bit. Took my glasses off, wiped my face down. Yeah, I'm glad that's done. I'm ready to move on now and start on some turning. Hey guys, I've been doing a lot today. I have not been good at keeping you guys updated. I'm over here on the table saw, cutting some thin strips. This is just my setup for thin strip cutting. I've also been working on my blanks. I actually turned one of my Charlie Brown blanks, and take a look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I didn't make it into a pin because there are a couple of flaws with it. I'll discuss those in the video, and that'll be out on the channel in a few days, as soon as I can get it edited. I've also finished prepping a couple of my other blanks. I've got the Chaos blanks ready for the Junior Gent, and I've got, oops, gotta make sure that doesn't roll off. I've got these blanks ready. They're lathe ready for the Omega pin kit. So I'm getting ready to start turning those. And in between, I'll come over here and work on my thin strips. I'm just making some thin strips, so I've got them on hand so that I can make some blanks here in the near future. The trick with making thin strips is most people go through and they take the wood and they cut with the grain, and then when you put them on your blank at an angle, you're cutting the wood at an angle. Say 30 degrees, 45, whatever angle you use, and it's more difficult to cut because you're crossing the grain at a bizarre angle. The trick is to cut your thin strips at that angle, so when you glue them to a blank, the blank actually is straight grain when you put it on the lathe. And that's what I'm going to work on with my pieces here, is cutting them all at probably 30 degrees today. I like 30 better than 45, and we'll see what happens. Well, I've been busy. Let me show you what I just finished. These are strips of maple and walnut. They're 1/8 of an inch, 3/16, 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch. I can use these for segmenting. You'll notice the grain runs, it doesn't run straight through the blanks. It runs at a 30-degree angle. That way, when I piece these together at 30 degrees in my blank, the grain will then run normally, like it would normally down the center of a blank. So this is the trick to not having to turn in grain. Those ought to be a lot of fun. We finally had a winner on the Taylor Murfield rollerball. The True Stone blank that was sent to me by Daryl Dice is what was chosen. I got to do some serious research. I have heard True Stone horror stories. I've never turned it before. I've heard a lot of horror stories. So basically, I'm going to go do a little research and figure out what I need to do to turn that effectively. Sorry for the movement. I had to take everything off of my table saw to cut those strips, and now I'm laying everything that I'm working on back down on the table saw in an effort to kind of keep it organized so that when I come back out to the shop, I don't have to dig around for things. It's all laying here and ready to go. This is going to pretty well wind it up for me today. I think I'm about done out here. It is 3:30. I have 2.5 hours until the podcast. I want to grab a shower. I want to get something to eat. I want to cool off a little bit because it's hot out here. And I'd like to edit this video and get it dropped out on the channel if I can squeeze that in. I don't know how long it'll take to edit. Hopefully not that long. And that way you guys can be checking this video out. But be sure to go out and check out You Made That, the podcast. It comes out every Wednesday. We're on episode 8 or 9 now. I forget. I mean, it's kind of cool. They just sort of, so many of them happen, you just kind of lose track. But please check it out and let me know what you think, and I'd love to hear from you. That's it for me today. Have a great day, a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you again very, very soon.